Welcome to My Conversation, a presentation of KAIL-TV My Central Valley. So let's get My Conversation started.
And welcome to another edition of My Conversation right here on My Central Valley. Once again, it's your host, Feather the Wise. We got a couple of great guests with you for you today, but right now, my new best friend, Mr. Ed Dunkel from Precision Civil Engineering. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Glad to be on the show. Now, that's a nice title, so explain, what exactly do you do?
Precision Civil Engineering. We're kind of a full-service type of company. We offer civil engineering, land surveying, landscape architecture, water analysis, water surveying, so things that work with development, new development primarily.
Speaking of new developments, a couple of developments going on around town.
Mm-hmm.
What are you involved in right now?
Well, we are actually heavily involved with high-speed rail. It's been very good for us. I know it's somewhat confrontational, but actually it's been very good for us. It's helped us employ about 5 or 6 full-time people, and it's been good for the local economy. Some of the things that it's doing is that people haven't even really seen yet is Shaw and Golden State. There's going to be an overpass there that actually high-speed rail is going to pay for. Anybody that's set at
Shaw and Golden State.
Yeah, if you've ever been at near that Costco. If you ever sit at that stoplight for 20 minutes waiting for people to...
Oh, okay, and that one right
there's
there.
going to be an overpass where you're not going to have to deal with that anymore. Another thing is, there was quite a bit of blight going down, along the 99 corridor, and it's removed that.
And what does that do for construction for the Shaw and Golden State?
Well, they're going to put an overpass. So what'll happen is at Golden State, the freeway, or the Shaw Avenue will go over Golden State. So you're not going to have to sit there with a signal waiting for everybody to.
How long before we start that? Can you have it done by when?
Yeah, well, exactly. If that would move forward quicker, that'd be great. But it's forthcoming. It's going to be probably within a year.
That has to do with within a year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Construction will start for that part, and then you've seen that at Clinton and 99.
My next question.
They've what has happened is they've moved the freeway over to make room for the high-speed rail to come through there.
No,
along the UP corridor.
Oh, that's awesome. So you can move the freeway.
Moved it over to make room for the high-speed rail. So anyway, but it's
just moving.
Yeah.
You know what? Just move that over right there. Now how long does something like that would take? How long would that take?
The construction?
Yeah.
Well, various parts take longer. Right now they're working on what's called construction packages number 1.
Okay.
That's where you see all the construction happening. The engineering and kind of the planning and engineering is happening on construction package 2 and 3. You're going to start seeing construction on that pretty quickly. So, but if you go up and down from basically Avenue 17 to American Avenue in Fresno, you'll see construction activities primarily along the 99 corridor. You'll see on one side or the other that the high-speed rail's been doing construction on.
Exciting. Now, outside of the high-speed rail, are there any other projects locally here that you're involved in?
Another big one is called the Riverstone development in Madera County, which is right across the river on Highway 41 at Avenue 12. That's a 2,000-acre development, and then ultimately it'll have almost 7,000 residences there, and there's 80 acres of commercial and Riverstone development. So yeah, it's impressive. McCaffrey Homes is out there right now, Lennar Homes, and I believe there might be another large home builder that's going to be out there. So.
And how long before we can look forward to that there?
Construction's happening. Actually, the model homes.
Oh, wow.
Model homes are up. The streets are in, and that was an exciting project for us because there's a lot of rolling terrain, and we were able to utilize that, not cut down mountains and things, but we used the terrain. So it's really a neat project. You can see the interest, and they're going to have trails, and they've got a recreational center I've never seen anything like it ever.
Oh, wow.
It's a neat project to be a part of for sure.
See, he know all the technical stuff. I'm just excited by the name Riverstone.
Riverstone, yeah. That was an interesting name. It took quite a while. Originally, it was called Gateway, and they didn't like the name, and they came up with Riverstone. But that was quite a process just to come up with the name. So,
like as if Blackstone went to the river.
Riverstone.
I'm gonna work with that,
so actually, yeah, there's some, yeah.
I'll work with that right there. Now, I was also told that you were on the Bulldog Foundation board member.
Correct.
You got a lot going on your plate. You don't have any rest.
Yeah. I love the Bulldogs, alumni and everything, but yeah, it's great to be part of that organization. Been on the board for about 9 years, I think. So it's a great organization. It's great for the scholars, scholarship, the athletes, give back to them and try to fund money for that. We're a mid-major, and we're trying to fight against the big boys. So what we need to do is try to find as many dollars as we can to compete. So, but it's all about the scholar, the athlete.
Definitely. I had a couple of cousins come through Fresno State. Won't mention their name. Clifton Smith. Had to plug that real quick there. Now, you have your hands in a lot of things going on in the city. What's something that's not on the forefront that we should be looking forward to?
Well, one thing, we just had a Economic Development Corporation real estate forecast, and we talked about basically the California dream.
Okay.
And where is the California dream? And if you go to the Bay Area or LA, it's not really attainable anymore because it's priced itself out of the market. So Fresno is really kind of the last frontier for that.
Right.
So if talking about schooling, talking about prices of homes, and a quality of life, being able to travel or get to your destination within 20 minutes or whatever. So you can't get that many other places in California. Fresno, the Valley, is really the last frontier for that. So it's a great opportunity for us. We have some big businesses looking at us. Ulta, you saw us coming into town.
Okay.
Amazon possibly. So.
Wow.
And as you see, the retail market has changed considerably, in that what's happened is the brick and mortar places are starting to die off. You see Sears is having issues, even Walmart's having issues, so everything's going to Amazon and things like that. So the opportunity for us to have open spaces and to bring these warehouses into Fresno and provide jobs, high-paying jobs, is huge for our local economy.
We're gonna bookmark that right there. We'll be right back with more with Ed Dunkel with Precision Civil Engineering. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we're back in my conversation. Once again, our guest, Mr. Ed Dunkel, with Precision Civil Engineering. We left the break, and you were in the middle of discussing the forecast. Can you go ahead and expound on that even more? Yeah,
last week we had, with the Economic Development Corporation, we had a real estate forecast, and we had various experts, brokers, talk about the future and where we are now as far as the real estate market in different areas, such as single-family, multifamily, industrial, and that kind of thing. And everything we see right now, it's just it's very, very optimistic and very. It looks very positive.
That's
so,
awesome.
Especially like we discussed earlier, that the LA market and San Francisco, the quality of life has disappeared. If you want an apartment, you're going to pay $4,000 minimum just
it's crazy.
And that's usually going to share that with somebody. So,
yes.
You can come here and get an apartment or a single family home for, small percentage of what you pay there. So
I can attest to that.
Yeah, and the schools, we have very good schools, and travel time to and fro is great. So just the quality of life. You're not spending your time on the freeway. You can get home to your family. So we're it. So, and then people are starting to see that across the state, across the nation. So.
You can tell. I know we mentioned off cameras and traveling and doing comedy. At once upon a time when Fresno was just a question mark, and they go to introduce me, and they're like, well, "Where are you from?"
Yeah.
Now it's really people know where we're at. It's actually of interest now in California. It's crazy as far as the travel. Everybody was complaining about how long it takes to get from here to the Bay or here to LA, and the high-speed rail will be taking care of a lot of that.
Yeah, I am a proponent. Obviously, we're getting a couple contracts, and I'm going to be that. But I always thought it was a positive thing, in that anytime you go to LA, you go to San Francisco, the first thing you think of is how long is it going to take you to get there,
right?
Or if there's weather or an accident or whatever. So With high-speed rail, you don't have to worry about that. You get on and you're there. So I personally think it's good. It's got to be done right.
Right.
There's challenges, I understand that, but I think for the overall good, I think it's good for California.
Projecting the time frame, about how long before we actually see it in motion?
Well, you know, that's
not to quote you on it.
Yeah,
not to put you on
don't
the
quote
mark
me
to
because I'll be
you
wrong.
on it, you know,
and it's a frustration, obviously, but also there's been a lot of lawsuits and things that slow it down. So,
okay.
But the first segment, a lot of people don't understand this. We're going to go probably from it's going to go from probably Madera to Bakersfield.
Okay.
And the reason for that is you have to start the train. You have to do a test section.
Right.
You have to test it out, make sure it works. And the only place you can really get up to true 220 miles an hour is in the valley.
Right.
So you're going to start it where you can test it. So that's the main reason. So that's fortuitous for us in that we get it here and we get to try it out. And then from there, they're going to go over to the Bay Area first. Originally, they were going to go to the LA, but they're going to go to the Bay Area first, tie it in there. So so your question was, when's it going to happen? You're going to see trains by 2021.
Wow.
So, and how long or how far that stretch will be, I don't know. I'm not going to promise anything on that, but we'll see something by then.
You may mention that you have to get up to speed of 220 miles.
220 miles an hour, right? So
Yeah.
it's amazing. But I've been able to go on a couple trips and went to China, and they brought us over there, a couple of us, and we went on the train, and they made a big promotion out of it, and they actually they brought water and they put tea leaves in the water and set it down, and then we were in the front right with the engineer and watched the speed get up to 220, and you watch the leaves within the water and it just didn't move at all. So how smooth and everything this technology is, it's incredible. So it's great.
We're catching up. We're catching up.
And we're getting there. We're getting there.
It'll be a little different trip.
And it's been good. It's brought spotlight to Fresno.
Definitely.
A positive light. So that's been a good thing.
Definitely talking about it. Definitely talking
Yeah.
about it. The only thing I think the locals are worried about is all the construction around town.
Yeah.
But you have to go through that to get to.
Well, it's positive. I think the blight and some of the old dilapidated buildings they're gone.
Yes.
Also, like I said, the improvement at Shaw 99 and also Veterans Boulevard. There's been no funding to get Veterans Boulevard off the ground to bring that connectivity at Shaw and Herndon and Golden State area.
Okay, I'm glad you, because I was like, that's one, I've lived here all my life, and you said Veterans Boulevard, and I'm like, I have not seen that sign.
That's a major thoroughfare to get east and west across. So with this, they're going to fund a large portion of that, which gets it off the ground. So people have been trying to get that going for some time. So that's a huge benefit.
Now, looking at people coming in from out of town on the high-speed rail, I know there's a lot going on downtown. What about the developments like further out where there's past Herndon, that kind? I know you mentioned
Riverstone, right?
Are there more developments on the horizon like that even south of Fresno?
Well, yeah, there's opportunities. And we're actually working on some developments southwest part of town. By the old Running Horse area,
Yeah.
so that's happening. Oliver Baines is a great councilman for the city, and he's really pushing development out in that area.
Yeah.
So we're working with him on some things, and he's making things happen. So excited about that. So development's coming. It's everywhere, but they're trying to make it responsible development, which we're working on. But the advantages to Fresno are huge, and just bringing jobs to the area, which we need badly, obviously. So high-paying jobs.
Well, that's a lot for me to do. I'm going to go ahead and process all of that. I'm looking forward to the high-speed rail. And, I thank you so much for being on the show. Absolutely great having you here. Mr. Ed Dunkel for Precision Civil Engineering. Please give him another round of applause. And on that, we'll be right back with more of my conversation right here on My Central Valley.